Childress, you got a real mess on your hand. What a train wreck your team is.
Mess? I don't even. That's. It's uncalled for, pal. Why in the world would you do that? Why? Tell me this. If I had left my job with Aquarius 7 Broadcasting, okay, and I went to work for, let's say,
Clear Channel.
Oh, God, you would say the devil.
All right, Cox.
That's even worse.
CBS.
Okay. Oh, I can live with CBS. Okay, I leave Aquarius 7 and I go to CBS, and then I turn around and I see all my buddies from Aquarius 7, and I say to them, folks, I missed you. We had fun together, and I wish you all the best. Peace out. Like that. In my press conference, and I get fired from my job at CBS, I think that would be called preposterous.
For showing the love.
And that's exactly what happened to Randy Moss today at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Randy Moss no longer a member of the Minnesota Vikings. They placed him on waivers.
And the thing was really started the story. He didn't really want to come back with the team because I guess his family still lives in the New England area. I guess he had his kids in school and everything there when he was just traded 4 weeks ago. So I guess he didn't want to uproot his family in the middle of the year. So he asked them if he could have an extra day because the players always have a day off on Tuesday anyway to stay back in New England with his family and then show up on Wednesday. And they said fine. And then 30 minutes after that, they said Randy Moss has been released. But, the thing is with Minnesota, where they really look foolish in this whole move, they gave up a third-round pick for Randy Moss for basically 4 weeks use. And they're on the hook for them cutting him. And if he goes on waivers, which I think he might go on waivers because I don't see anybody wanting to probably pick up his whole salary for the rest of the year because the salary would have to be $6.4 million. So I don't know if anybody wants to pay him $6.4 million for 9 weeks, especially the lower echelon teams. We're talking about Dallas, Buffalo.
Well, Dallas doesn't need a receiver. Dallas just needs a whole overhaul. That's all they need.
Well, your bottom teams for the waivers right now is Dallas, Carolina, and Buffalo. And I don't think Randy Moss is going to turn any one of those franchises around for 9 weeks. So I don't see them happen. So I think he's
But
probably,
that's $750,000 a game. Think about that.
Well, they're going to cut, but they figured if no team picks him up on waivers, which, the waivers is going to go from the bottom up. So, you have teams, they're saying the teams right now that are interested is Washington, Dallas, Chicago, St. Louis, Miami, Oakland, Kansas City, Seattle, and the Jets. And they say the Patriots also would take him back. So there are teams that are interested, but you just wonder if he'll just clear waivers and he'll go to whatever team he wants. Now, if he clears waivers and goes to whatever team he wants, the Vikings are on the hook for $3.8 million. So that means they'd be paying him $4 million for nothing, plus the money they've already paid him, and they lost a third-round pick next year, which looks like a pretty good pick now, the way the Vikings are heading right now at 2-5. So really, it was a train wreck all from the beginning.
So the whole thing, it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I don't know.
If you're going to get rid of a player, what about Brett Favre showing his ding-a-ling?
Well, the thing is, too, with Brett Favre, if you think about it, you paid him an extra $4 million. You're paying him like $16, $17 million for a 2-7 record right now. And look at yesterday's game. Tavares Jackson came in, and he actually played good. He came in for a short time and threw a touchdown. So you have a healthy player that, could probably have maybe won a couple of games for them that they lost because Brett Favre, the gunslinger, doesn't want to get hit or he's hobbling around in bad shape and he just throws it up for a quick pick. If I was the Vikings right now, I know Brett Favre is like, the Messiah there. They've sold tons of jerseys, whatever. But, you're not selling any more jerseys at this point, I don't think. Everybody that loves him already got. You're not going to run out and buy one for a team that's 2-7. I would play Tavares Jackson and see what the kid's got. I think Tavares Jackson, maybe given a chance, because if you think the core of the team is still probably pretty good. And give him a shot. You agree with me?
All I know is this. It amazes me how NFL teams where people are making millions of dollars can screw things up. So simple. So simple. The Vikings, just forget about them. Forget about them. That's another team. The season's over with.
Now, I am wearing this today for my friend Leon. I know he watches this on the video stream, too.
Oh, yeah. We are taping a YouTube segment right now.
I'm wearing this Tom Brady throwback for you, Leon.
Okay, that's what it is.
And
now,
it's your Patriot logo type deal.
Now, real quick, since we're still using the YouTube segment to promote our teams, you see what I have on. I'm sticking behind Donovan McNabb. And even though I don't really know all the gist and the stats on the Redskins-Detroit game, a game that they should have won, and they didn't, Oh, now you're going to hand it to me. I appreciate it. See, I appreciate it. This,
Well,
this is how we do things around here. We fly by night, people.
Well, the thing is, Donovan McNabb played well enough to win. That is an issue about where Shanahan's talking about his conditioning. Now, this almost sounds like the Albert Hainsworth type of deal, where he's challenging his work ethic and conditioning.
How old is Donovan McNabb?
He's 34 years old.
Okay, so he's been playing since how old?
He's been playing. Well, he's been in the league now for 10 years.
Okay, so he's becoming into the what's the word I want to use? Not the upper echelon, but the older demographics of a quarterback.
Did he have one interception?
He had one pick.
All right, but I mean, the thing.
And the other team had one pick.
But the thing is, I didn't see the game, so I really can't. I don't really know how the feel of the game went. But the guy that he was replaced with was Rex
Grossman, who's a bum. He's a University of Florida bum. And anybody that comes from the University of Florida in the last 10 years has been a bum.
Well, I know one thing. If we had our friend Big Dog on the show right now, who's a loyal Bears fan, he would iterate what you just said, that because he really was a bum with the Bears. Even though they got to the Super Bowl that year, he actually went for the ride. He had nothing to do with that Super Bowl run.
You're absolutely right.
But I guess Shanahan now, he's got to open up a real mess here. Now, the team has a bye week, so maybe they can get everything together and squared away. But, I mean, they're praising Donovan McNabb at the beginning of the season when they're winning, and now, like, when the games are, like, getting close and they're coming up to the short end, he's getting the blame. I just don't think it's fair to Donovan McNabb.
I don't either, but what do you do? Well, I mean, first of all, they had no business trading Jason Campbell.
Well, yeah.
They should have kept, just like I said, they should have kept Jason Campbell. He could have been the backup, the heir apparent, because you know that McNabb probably has another year, maybe two, and then that's it.
Well, you know what's weird about you to bring up Jason Campbell? You know, originally in the beginning of the year, Jason Campbell struggled with the Raiders, and they pulled him for that Bruce Gronkowski. Then he got hurt, and then Campbell came in, and since he's come in to replace him, they haven't lost. The Raiders have looked very good.
What, they scored 59 on Denver, and they scored 33
on Seattle.
On Seattle, so that's
in fact,
80-some points.
They got a lot of praise last night on Sunday Night Football pregame show with Bob Costas talking about next week that they have the Kansas City, Oakland are playing again, and both teams are actually good again, above 500. So they're saying that rivalry that was a big deal 20, 30 years ago might be back, with the teams both being back and being competitive.
Well, we will soon find out, won't we there, pal?
I was hoping they were going to show that game next week in the flex scheduling thing, but they said, no, we're sticking with the boys in the pack.
Ah, yuck. Yuck. Speaking of boys, what's going on with the Superchargers out west?
Well, they had a quality win yesterday in Qualcomm out there. They beat the Tennessee Titans, or the Tennessee Titans were 5-2 going in that game. Now they're 5-3. But I mean, you really can't knock Tennessee too bad for that loss. Going out to San Diego, they're a very good team out there.
San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Chargers, San Diego Superchargers, San Diego Chargers.
Oh, the Chargers. Can they stay in San Diego, or are they going to move to Los Angeles?
I would say that Magic Johnson will get that group together, and they will be in L.A.
You think they're going to move up to L.A.?
Yes, I do.
So it'll be the L.A. Chargers again, like
Yes.
1960 all over again.
I think Magic Johnson, we talked about this in depth last week. I think that he is a guy that knows what he's doing as far as business, very smart businessman. I think he will get the right people lined up. I think he's already working the NFL owners. The fact that he was in Miami last week in the suite up there with Stephen Ross in Miami, I think he's going to work the NFL owners. I think he's going to get a lot of backing. And when they put a proposal for whatever team wants to go there, I think he'll have all those ducks in place, and I think it will happen.
Good. Very good from Magic Johnson. Maybe he will get the Chargers.
But another one I want to talk about is our other team down the road, the Tampa Bay Bucks. Raheem Morris came out earlier the week saying that they were the best team in the NFC, and he backed it up yesterday with a win beating Arizona 38-35. So they're 5-2 going into a big NFC South game next week with Atlanta, who's also 5-2.
So we'll talk more about Tampa Bay. We'll talk more about the rest of the NFL. We'll even touch base with the Magic, who went to Miami and laid an egg. Go figure that one. Right here on the Sports Crunch, Rock100DIZ.com.
License and registration.